Howdy folks, how are y'all doing? My name is Rees, and welcome back to another episode of SevTech Ages. Now, if you are a member of the Discord, you will of course have heard the horrible, tragic news that the last time I tried to record SevTech Ages episode 47, disaster struck, and the footage was simply not recorded. I record using OBS, which is very solid. I record using an MOV wrapper for the files, 264 obviously, but in an MOV wrapper. It's less temperamental than MP4, and the good thing about MOV is if something happens, if OBS were to crash, more often than not, you can still recover the footage. Again, MP4 is very temperamental, and sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you just end up with a trash file, but with MOV, more often than not, it's okay. But in this instance, something happened to OBS, and it just didn't record at all. I hit the end record button. It said it was ending the recording, but it just kept saying that for a long time. And I walked away. I came back. It eventually said it was done. And so I've dug through the computer, and the file just doesn't exist. I don't know what happened. So all the footage, all of it, from episode 46, an hour of my life, is gone forever, and we'll never be able to get it back. So what I've done instead is I've taken all of my plans for episode 48. There's a itchy ear situation going on here. Took all of my plans for episode 48, and we're bringing them back. We're making a new episode 47. We're going to start off by showing you what you missed in that now forever lost episode. I've recorded some footage. We're going to pan around, and I'm going to show you what I did in the lost episode 47. So, starting off, naturally, I went and saw Ice's new house, where Ice has I guess it's an ice palace, and a portal to the nether, conveniently located right within our patron town, so that's nice. Before traveling through Ice's nice portal, I decided to create a new pickaxe, one that was hopefully going to be strong enough to mine up things like nether quartz and nether soul stone, I believe it was. But then we discovered that Ice's portal just leads to a sea of soul sand. I used it to make a hibachi in some way. I can't even remember. It was so long ago now. In the grand scheme of time, it was so recent, but in the wide universe, does it matter? Does it really matter at all? Anyway, we built a hibachi, and after, again, an hour, I finally worked out how to alternate power going to a bellows in such a way that I could create a stoked flame on top of the hibachi and get a stoked cauldron so that we could make nether sludge, which we'll then need to put into a stoked kiln, which is what we're going to do this episode, to make nether bricks. I think that pretty much brings you up to speed. I'm going to give you a brief tour here of what I've done, and hopefully you folks will enjoy it, and it won't be too much of hopefully you won't be as disheartened as I have been over the loss of the real episode 47. Here's the new episode 47. I hope it lives up to expectations. Let's do it. Let's just get started. So, between recording the footage that you saw here at the beginning of the episode, where I did some panoramics of the work we did last episode, which is all gone, between then and now, I've done quite a bit of work down here cleaning this stuff up. I got our saw hooked back up. We had some issues getting the saw hooked up and also running the bellows, which you will not have seen because that footage is gone forever. We've also got our cauldron set up here, and it is currently being stoked from below. We've also set up one of these bad boys. Now, this is required. Place nether sludge in a Better with Mods kiln to cook it into nether brick. Consult the Book of Single. I don't know what that means, on how to assemble a kiln. I looked it up on the wiki. It's not that difficult. I think I've got it hooked up correctly. We're going to find out. We're going to take some unfired nether brick, and we're just going to toss it inside there, which might be what we're supposed to do. In the meantime, let's go down below. And this is the sort of spaghetti works we've got to get this all going. So we've got our original turntable up there. I made a second one. And let me just walk you through this. So out of the top, we've got our power coming from the water mill. And it's coming down here where it branches off and powers our original turntable up there. But then also, is that oh, that one's turning on and off. Oh, well, that's not intentional. I did not mean for that to happen. I can fix that right now, though. All we got to do to fix that is move this down a little bit. See, this is useful for folks. This is giving you a good little tutorial on how all this works. There we go. So it's also branching off to here where we have the second turntable with a piece of concrete on top and a switch which toggles this thing on and off. This is another gearbox powered by this gearbox powered by the water mill, but it's being toggled on and off using the lever so that it can automatically toggle the bellows to inflate and deflate those, which are powering our two hibachi, which are being used to create super hot stuff, which we are using to not do anything here. It's possible I built this incorrectly. I was just sort of winging it based on some information I found online. Maybe we have to put a regular kiln in there. There's no way to pick this thing up, is there? I know that you can't just break it because it just disappears forever. I thought if we shift left clicked on it or something, though, we could pick it up. That doesn't seem to be working. Maybe I... Oh! That's the secret. You don't just toss it in there. Haha, naturally, you click it in there. That makes a lot more sense. It says that it's at 6%. Oh, it's progressing. Very, very slowly. We can apparently make this go by faster if we add more fire. Oh, look at that. We did it! Oh, at long last. So this is what... We pretty much did all of this last episode. We finally used this to get some hellfire dust and hibachi and bellows and potash and nether brick, and it's a shame none of you got to see it. But we got the nether brick at long last, and we are using the nether brick, I think, to make a giant steel... I think it's a blast furnace, is that correct? Yes, it is! That's the recipe! I just gotta get a whole lot more nether brick. Well, this gives us a good opportunity to go back into the nether and do some more resource gathering, which will be good, because many of you missed it. By the way, this is Ice's new shop. I showed you this last episode, but you'll never see it. Ice welcomes us to otherworldly imports. They still have some work to do. Hopefully soon they'll be able to get us some nether items. That would be nice. In the meantime, well, I filmed some footage of the nether for the intro of this video already, so I'm sure you've already seen it, but it does open up into a absolute dreamland in terms of soul sand, so that's delightful. See what I mean? We got all the soul sand we could ever need, and we do need soul sand, believe you me. Still, you know what we never did try, is I went through all the effort of getting that other pick that I made last episode. I made a quartz pick. Did I mention that in the intro? I can't. What the Shrek is this thing? It's a spin out. Never seen that before. Interesting. Not that it was super aggressive or anything. Do I hear a spider? I certainly do. I haven't tried to collect quartz with that other pickaxe. Perhaps I should go get it and give it a try. Get out of here, you. Make sure to let Glenn out of your park so he can eat and sleep? What does that mean? That's freaky. I haven't met anyone named Glenn yet. I mean, I've met a lot of crazy characters since we started this, but no one named Glenn. Did I dig this? I don't think I dug this. It's a bit disturbing. Where did we see quartz? Ah, there it was, right there. And we can finally harvest it. My friends, it's a good day indeed. We've got ourselves some nether quartz. Alright, so we need a lot more netherrack, because we've got to mill that stuff up. Once we mill it, we can filter it through the hopper to get some hellfire dust, which we can then put in the cauldron with potash, which we get from also the cauldron, except we have to turn off the hibachi underneath it in order to get the potash. But we mix all of that together, and it will give us nether... Well, it'll give us nether sludge, and then we can put the nether sludge in the kiln, and we can get the... You're starting to get the idea, I hope. And we can use gloomy netherrack, can confirm, so I'll just go ahead and collect some more of that. Shrek, there's that thing again. These things, they're not particularly difficult to deal with, based on what I've found, but they do just kind of come out of nowhere. They're very freaky like that. Oh, did they catch me on fire? I'm burning somehow. All right, from memory, he said, with way too much gusto, because he doesn't know if he can live up to that. Oh, he did it! He's referring to himself in the third person now because he's so proud of himself. I think we're going to need more of this, though. Hey, I didn't know that you could just pick up and move storage crates around. That's actually really useful. Good to know, but not what we're looking for. Alright, you know what? This manual is poop. It's not helpful at all. I just googled it, though, and we're going to need a... Hold on. Oh, that's coke. Okay, good. I was going to say, this isn't a blast furnace, is it? It's not. It's not, but I think it's the same situation. 3x3. So we're going to need 27 of these, meaning we're going to need another... Oh my gosh, I've got to do the math. 21. I was real worried I wouldn't be able to do the math on that. You know, I keep forgetting that we have a skeleton horse back here, and I'm telling you, it freaks me out every time. I'm leaving the middle hollow. I don't know if we're supposed to leave the middle hollow, but I am for now, because I want to find out... Is this even the right thing? Is this is the engineer's hammer? Okay, I guess we probably shouldn't have left the middle hollow. Suppose we'll fill it in then. What's the worst that could happen here? Hey, we did it! And then, I suppose we take coal coke. I'm just guessing. And then we get some iron, probably. I'm just guessing. And then we put the iron in the coconut and drink it all together? That is doing something. I wonder if we can do whole iron blocks. Well, I suppose we could just look up iron block. Take a look at use. No, that didn't work. I wanted to look... what? Alright, I got uses to work. Let's see. I don't see any option to... oh, right there. Oh, yeah, it'll give us a block of steel and a bunch of slag. That's fantastic. Let's just take then... well, that's a block of 10. That's not going to get us anywhere. Do we not have blocks of iron? We might not have blocks. We don't have much iron, now that I'm looking at it. Do we have any in here? We've got glass. We've got glass. Why do we have so much... why do we have unfilled things of glass? That's my question. Let's get that situation taken care of. I can go buy iron, I guess. What all do you sell? You got... oh, they've got... look, they've got these things that we haven't even found yet. Do you think that... would this be cheating? What are we supposed to get here? Limonite and platinum? Do you think that we could just buy... oh, they don't have that. They have platinum. I don't see limonite. I see nickel. Interesting. Let's just buy iron. So we need to keep this going. And then someone recommended putting glass vials over here to collect the creosote because they stack. And I think that that is a brilliant idea. Granted, we aren't too far off from being able to just pump it out of there. Still, this is an option for right now. So we're going to put some glass bottles. Well, this was a terrible idea. Maybe they didn't say bottles, though. Maybe I made that up. Seems to me like I can only put it in buckets, not glass bottles. So next up on our agenda to progress is to build a core sample drill, which we've talked about before. Core sample drill. Right here, this bad boy, which requires a whole bunch of steel. Like a ton of it. Steel rods, which we can make by hand. But are we supposed to be able to build one of those machines yet? I wonder, does the game expect us to be ready to have just a metal press? And how do you power a metal press? We'll need steel scaffolding, a redstone engineering block, piston, heavy engineering block, and a conveyor belt. 2 conveyor belts. Probably why the game wants us to make a conveyor belt. But I think that we can go ahead and create a small sample without having to do that. Because the only thing I'm seeing here is these steel rods, and we can do those ourselves, and steel scaffolding looks like it's just steel and steel rods again. And then light engineering blocks is iron, copper, copper. Or iron and copper, but like this for some reason. Was there a benefit to that? So 4 iron plates and a copper ingot, or 2 iron plates and a copper ingot to get a... and what is this? This is the crafting components blueprint. We have that one right here, crafting component. Oh, look at this. We'll just do that then. Well, that was easy. I have some steel and I made too many steel fences. That's not relevant. What matters is that we've got a core sample drill, and according to the guide, I guess you would call it, the next step is to use it to find some oil. Use the core sample drill to locate oil in a chunk. They didn't tell me what to do with it. It requires power, and you can place the samples on the ground by shift-clicking. What? Drill and locate both ore veins and liquid under the surface per chunk. Don't forget it requires power, and you can place the samples on the ground by shift-clicking. They don't mention how to actually use the darn thing. There we go. I guess now we just power it. It wants IF. I'm just looking for something that looks like it might make power. Oh, a generator. Maybe that's what we need to build. Oh, we can make a portable one from immersive petroleum. But does it require petrol to run? It's not going to tell me that, is it? Alright, well, despite some searching on the internet, I still can't figure out how to go about powering this thing. So if you have any hot tips on that, let me know down below. It'd be very useful. I'm going to go ahead and stop now because this is getting out of hand. Thank you folks for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you later. Bye!